Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. We have quite a show for you. In fact, it's going to be the continuing conversation from last week's Tech Tuesday, that growing concern about our Corvettes being stolen. How can we prevent this? How can we stop this? How can we just slow these guys down? I have yet another deterrent that comes at your suggestion that I think you guys are going to like. We talked with Joe from Solar Performance tonight. But first, I want to remind you, as we were the first ones on YouTube to let you know, even though it's been pushed out twice, that today is supposed to be the day. At the time of recording this, it's not up yet, that they were supposed to make live the 2025 Corvette build tool on Chevrolet.com. So by the time this video airs, maybe in fact it's there. If you go to Chevrolet.com, you click in the upper left-hand corner, vehicles, go down to performance, and then you have all the models that you can dissect, build, and get some kind of idea what your next, maybe your first Corvette will be. So have some fun with that and let me know if I can help you. I would love the opportunity to earn your business. Thank you. Don't forget also tonight, after our great conversation with Joe, we are going to finish up with your beautiful rides. Thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. I've got a special Tech Tuesday for you guys, and you bet it is a follow-up to what we talked about last week, amongst many things. But the main subject everybody wanted to know about and comment about, and you guys text me, email me, call me, saw me at the car show. I don't know how many clubs we did sell. Everybody's concerned, and that's what I told you I want to do, is create awareness and give you some solution. And the big problem is going on. I just heard from a guy in the comments of last week's video. Unfortunately, he had his E-Ray for 10 days. His new E-Ray was freaking stolen. And then my guy up in Toledo had a C7 stolen. I guess I'm just old school, man. I just want to grab those guys and punch them in the face. It's just so frustrating after everything we went through to get to this point and enjoy a nice car. And it's not just Corvettes. It's with anything that's nice. Why the heck can't we just enjoy it? You know what I mean? So it's unfortunate. But thank you so many people that actually reached out and suggested that, and we read that one text message from Henry, Solar Performance, Solar Engineering. I'm unfamiliar with the product, but I'm proud to have it, and somebody that's been watching us for a long time. Joe, good evening, sir. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it, man.
My pleasure, Rick. We really appreciate being out.
You text me right away, and I was just like touched. It's like, wow, we talked about you, and you were watching the show, and I think you probably said, hey, wow, they're talking about us. But this is an opportunity now to introduce you to the audience. And I know before we start with your program and the device that you offered for Corvette, I know a lot of people said last week, some of them weren't so nice in how they said it. Guys, I know that there's ways to get around the club. All I was doing is trying to come up with, again, a small solution to slow down these clowns from stealing our cars, which is really becoming more of an epidemic than I ever anticipated that it would be. But again, we've got these flashy cars, and sometimes it attracts idiots. Joe, you've got a device, and you were busy at Carlisle. You and I did not have an opportunity to meet then, but I've heard not just from you, from other viewers, and actually people at our car show this past weekend that are very familiar with your device, and I apologize that I'm not. So tell me a little bit about you guys, what you do, and let's get to the heart of the matter of how we can actually slow down people stealing our Corvettes.
Sure, Rick. And before I do that, just a quick thanks for you. I think I speak on behalf of your entire audience. Thanks for what you do. We know that you work tirelessly, and what you do for the Corvette community is literally second to none. I've been a fan since C7 days and all throughout C8. So first and foremost, thank you for that.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
And in terms of what we do, so we are Solar Performance. The two things we do are throttle controllers and throttle bodies. I'll talk really about throttle controllers for now. Okay. And that's really the topic I think that you're hitting on. And let me jump right to the point you raised in terms of ways to lock and protect our Corvette. And then I'll come back to what the product was originally designed for, which was acceleration and getting rid of that initial acceleration lag that Corvettes and really any cars that are taking advantage of drive-by-wire technology that's been around now for, a decade. Okay. So on the Solar controller, we have a feature, and it's all Bluetooth enabled. So it's just an app like anything else you have on your cell phone these days, and you can control all the different modes that I'll talk about, in a minute or two. But there's one feature called lock. and you literally just tap the circle, it turns green. And that from that point forward until you disable it or hit that button again for it to turn back to white, what we've done is we have basically been able to interrupt, if you will, the signal between the gas pedal and the throttle body. So if somebody figures out a way to start your car, they've copied your key fob code, they've got your key fob, they've got into the box as they drive by your house that you keep your keys in that locks out coding. However they get the car started, they'll have a very disappointing experience because once they go to engage the car to move, that gas pedal is totally electronically disengaged from the throttle body, and the car will not move.
Okay.
Then at that point, they're probably not going to look at repairing the car. They'll probably jump out of the car and get the hell out of there in frustration,
right,
which is the whole goal. Now, if they obviously flatbed a car, we can't really help in that regard. But frankly, you wouldn't have to start the car anyway if that was the way in which the thieves were going to try and steal your Z06 or C8 or Z51 or E-Ray and soon to be perhaps ZR1s.
Right. No, exactly. And it's, I talked about the club last week as a small deterrent, a way to slow people down, even though there are some ways to get around that. Some folks suggested, I don't know what they're called, I apologize, some kind of a box or a pouch that's almost like an RFID protection. So when you're sleeping, like you said, if somebody drives past your house, they can't pull that signal and get into the car. So that's another way as a deterrent. But having this device in the car that you guys offer, I'm really intrigued by that. Let me ask you about the device itself. Where does it actually install that it's communicating with your phone?
Sure. So behind the gas pedal, there is a connector, and that connector is literally your drive-by wire that ultimately finds its way electronically to the throttle body. And that gas pedal has a sensor in it that's been programmed to know how much pressure you're pushing on your gas pedal. And then it basically opens the throttle body in some sort of relationship that GM decided for all of us. As quarter pedal as an example, right. How much throttle body and acceleration do I allow the owner to have at that particular point? Most of us, and I'll throw my name in the hat. I've had a C6, C7, and C8, and one of the frustrations has always been you've got 400, 430, and now 495 horsepower. You're cruising around town, the light changes, or you're at a stop sign, I should say, or a light. The light changes. You don't floor it, but you hit the gas. And it's a little disappointing in terms of the exhilaration or lack thereof, considering how much horsepower you have. Quick 30 seconds. My daughter's got a Mazda 3. It's 145 horsepower. I use it because I don't feel like backing out the cars on a Saturday morning. Right. I take it to get Dunkin' Donuts. The light changes. I hit the gas and my head snaps. And I go, "Are you kidding me?" Like I just touched the gas pedal. Why is that? Because they've done the opposite. They have made the gas pedal so responsive that when you touch it, it opens the throttle body and accelerates far more than you would expect. Having said that, being a four-cylinder, you get into second, third gear, and it's all over, and the car has nothing. It just completely flattens out. Wow. Ours is the opposite experience, where, at half throttle, full throttle, you've got a beast on your hands, but driving normally, we don't really continually floor the car, right? Right. So to get that, lag out of there and to get that acceleration dialed into the way you want it, there's 10 different modes and 64 different settings. So you literally can be in Sport 5 as an example, or I can be in Sport 6. And we're each enjoying our Corvette in a slightly different way. Some will say to me, well, but Corvette has a track mode. They have a sport mode. They have a touring mode. Yes, right. They have one of each. Mm-hmm. So they, again, have basically, for the masses, tried to predict how you might want a sports setting to feel like. But if it's still not as aggressive as you would expect that pedal to relationship to the throttle body to be, you can dial it into your liking. And so, that's the beauty of what the throttle controller does. It removes that lag that is just typical in any drive-by-wire vehicle, but it also allows you to tune the acceleration to your liking. Now, I don't say this lightly, but we have people at Carlisle and elsewhere that say to us, this is literally a night and day difference. And, wow. And that's a strong statement. But until you try it, It's hard for me to say it any other way than people that have bought it, tried it, and we've got them on video at Carlisle coming back to us the next day saying those exact words.
Very responsive.
Throttle is instantaneous.
Responsiveness is immediate.
Literally feels like more power right off the line, like anytime you want it. It's crazy.
So let me ask you this. If I said to somebody that this will make a night and day difference in your vehicle, would that be
Absolutely. Unbelievable. I've been telling everybody about it.
Downshifts feel faster as well.
It was clean right through the lines.
And just a lot more fun to drive.
So it's not magic. It does not add 1 horsepower to the vehicle. It's effectively bringing all that horsepower we know we have further up to your experience, if that makes sense.
It's kind of changing the response rate, basically, of what you have.
Correct. And the other thing I'll say, Rick, is that most will say to you, well, just hit the gas pedal harder. It misses the entire point because their relationship they've established has a ramp up, and you can't speed through the ramp up. Meaning, if you floor that pedal, you will not be immediately wide open throttle, okay? You will not be wide open throttle. It'll ramp, and it'll be a delay. It could be 500 milliseconds, it could be 1 second, but you are not at wide open throttle. With our device, as soon as you floor it, or even at half pedal, we have a setting called ludicrous. I don't advise you driving it, but if you hit the pedal halfway, you'll be wide open throttle immediately.
Ludicrous 9, see what that's like. It's gonna be like flooring it right around this corner. Jeez. Yep. Basically, you're barely touching the throttle and it's just like, go.
Okay, so this device, you're tapping into the GM system that we know as a drive-by-wire system. A couple of questions in regards to that. Number one, installing it. You said it's behind the gas pedal.
Yeah.
Somebody like me, can I put that in myself, or do you advise something different?
Yes. No, it's DIY. So literally, you watch the video, you reach down. It's a little bit uncomfortable because if you're my age, bending down and reaching in with one arm behind the gas pedal, even though you've moved the seat back and the steering wheel up, can be a bit challenging. But if you've got a younger son or anybody, frankly, and I did do it, so it wasn't like I couldn't do it.
Okay.
But you reach behind the gas pedal. There's a red lock clip. You push back the red lock clip. You push in on the connector. It slides out immediately. You take our device, which is the exact same clip that you just removed. You plug ours in to the back of that pedal. You snap the red lock, and you're done with that aspect. You take the piece you just removed, the factory OEM piece with the red lock, you plug it into the other end of our connector, and literally that is your install. And then from there, you download the Bluetooth app. It syncs to the little device itself.
Okay.
And from that point forward, you're really working off of your phone. Now, if you're not Bluetooth comfortable, there is an LED screen that measures about 1 inch by 3/4 of an inch, has all the functionality on it, and you just mount that somewhere on your dash, or some people have actually put it in their console.
Okay.
So they've kind of come up through the bottom of the tunnel, and they put it in their box right there. And frankly, Rick, once you get a setting you're comfortable with, you're really not changing it. Just like you don't think of getting up and changing the OEM setting in your car.
Correct.
Other than maybe track, but you know what I'm saying? As far as the actual setting that they've devised for us, you're not thinking about altering that every day, right?
Correct. Well, here's my other concern too then, and it's because I'm such a factory guy and a factory representative.
Yeah.
As soon as we start messing around with the electronics of these cars, you worry about warranty implications, and really, so that's part A to my question. But really, does this cause any interruption with the multitude of computers that are on Corvette that would make something would basically make it in-op because this device is interrupting? Is there, where I'm going with that?
I do.
Okay.
It's a great question, and the answer is it does not. And the reason is twofold. One, it's not actually changing any of the tuning of the vehicle at all.
Okay.
And it also is not changing things like fuel trims or anything. It literally is changing the pressure sensor from the gas pedal to the throttle body in terms of recalibrating how much pressure at what opening are you now asking it to do. And then as you obviously know that, the whole warranty laws, right, that were written decades ago around Magnuson basically say people are allowed to use aftermarket components and things as long as they don't cause the root issue that car is actually being brought in for.
Right.
So, the onus would be on a dealer or manufacturer to say that your device has caused your air conditioning to break or my engine to have an issue. The other thing I would say is for people that are that concerned, because the install and because it is not affecting the tune at all, if you really wanted to bring your car in for service and avoid the possibility of that,
right,
you can disconnect it as easy as you've installed it. But the real punchline is it does not alter anything that the car was tuned to do. It's just effectively changing the translation between the gas pedal and the throttle body.
Yeah, and what's nice about it too is usually you'll get guys that will do aftermarket stuff, lights or radar detectors, and they start tapping and splicing into existing wiring.
Correct.
You're just clipping in something into the harness, so it is kind of mimicking the GM thing, but just enhancing it at the same time. So I feel pretty comfortable in where you're going with that, and for broadcasting that to our audience. I know a lot, like I said, I got a lot of feedback before you and I spoke this evening on how great the product works, and I'm excited to see the videos, if we might have been showing some of that in B footage during our conversation tonight, on how it is to install, because I'm used to just pay the guy to do it,
Yeah, and some people, like our technician, now granted he does this, a lot, but
right.
At Carlisle, he opens the passenger door and literally within 45 seconds, he was done. And people are like, wow. Now, someone like me, I'm 60, to kind of bend down, open the door, crawl down, reach in behind the gas pedal. It's a little bit more challenging, but there's nothing technologically difficult other than just unclipping, clicking and locking. And by the way, you can't get it wrong, because each end of our connector will only fit into its respective connections one way. So you can't put a plug in backwards, upside down. It's not going to fit, and it's not going to lock. And the last thing, Rick, I wanted to just mention as well is all of our products, whether it's the controller we're talking about or our ported throttle bodies, which really have the aim of increasing lower end torque and, making the drivability of the car, again, more enjoyable, because it allows 50% more air in at 30% throttle.
Wow.
That's significant.
Yeah.
And you will feel that, difference immediately after you to drive the car. But the point I wanted to make is we offer a 30-day money back, no questions asked. You won't have to defend any reasons why you didn't like either product or both.
Okay.
And we refund 100% of your money, and it gets even better. We'll send you a shipping label so you don't even pay for the shipping coming back.
No, I appreciate that. I love the simplicity of it, and obviously the whole topic is to find another deterrent to slow down people from stealing our cars. The club is, I teased about it, Chuck and I last week were teasing about it. It's like, wow, they still make those damn things? But, it's like, it does slow some people down, but for the guys that are a little more techie, they know ways around it. I love the suggestion that our audience made last week about, the boxes to keep your key fob in, or those pouches. I've got to get one of those. That's a great idea. But the device you guys have ultimately is going to keep the people from driving the car off. And I think that's a great deterrent.
And it just gives you peace of mind. I mean, you're going shopping, you're going to a restaurant, you're going somewhere, and just by turning that mode on, anyone that starts your car, is going to be very disappointed when they hit the gas pedal and nothing happens.
Well, and I said last week in the show too, is we become a sitting duck because, number one, you've got a beautiful looking car that stands out, but when we go to these events and we're seeing that events are being highly targeted for multiple cars being stolen, you just don't want to be dealing with that when you're traveling from around the country and coming back. As we shared last week, a couple of people from the caravan were, in Canada and Connecticut, I think it was, and their vehicles were stolen and destroyed, and it's just unfortunate. So I think this is a sensitive but a great topic. I'm excited that I think we're going to have a link in our comments tonight for the folks to reach you directly and buy this. Is that correct, Joe?
Yeah, and we're going to give you a discount code for all of your fellow Corvette folks like myself that are interested in it. And
yeah, saving a couple bucks is nice, man. We like that. You know, a couple bucks saving here and there, it all adds up, man. But I'm just excited to bring this awareness to the community, talk with you, learn from you tonight. I'm real excited to have this on my car as well. So thanks, Joe, for everything. I really appreciate it, man.
Terrific. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Wow, was that eye-opening or what? I love learning new stuff and sharing that with you guys. One of the main premises of my channel. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. And Joe, thank you so much. Don't forget, there's a link in the description. You'll get 5% off anything that you buy on Solar Performance. Use the code RIC5 at checkout. Joe, thanks for that. I do appreciate it. And I can't wait. I really can't wait to get that on my car, and I'll let you know exactly what I think, just like some of the people we shared tonight. Oh yeah, I'll let you know what I think, but I'm very confident that this is going to be a great little device for the car for a number of reasons, as Joe discussed. Hey, I didn't forget, don't go anywhere. We're going to finish up anytime we do a Tech Tuesday format on a Tuesday night. We're done talking cars. We're going to show off your cars. These are your beautiful rides.
Too young, and I didn't understand that you were the one, and I can't wait to see you hindsight is fleeting when your heart's bleeding and all you can see is red, till you discover it is within each other to forgive and make amends. If I had known then what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own. Sometimes what's right is wrong instead, 'cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you were the one, and I can't wait to see you again. Oh, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait, 'cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you